Up, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Marlon. We are back at it again with another edition of the show, man. So if this is your first time watching, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Turn on that post notification bell so you never miss out on the daily updates that we have in the land of Xbox and PlayStation. If that's something that you're interested in, news, live reviews, all that good stuff, giveaways whenever we do have them, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell, and we'll try to keep you up to date Monday through Friday. That is our literal main goal here. And sometimes on the weekends we might have some bonus streams, and we're planning on bringing back our blowout series that we normally do on the channel. So if that's something that you're interested in terms of the games, you know, PS5, Series X games being showcased, stuff like that, this is the place for you. Okay, so with that being said, without further ado, let's dive right off into this, man. So we have some massive news that we need to go over and discuss, and it's time. I've been waiting for this opportunity. And this entire generation, I've said this numerous times, that Microsoft needs W's. They need more W's than never before. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stress it. And it's rare, besides the whole ABK deal situation that's actually taking place right now, which we're hearing something that is actually stirring up with that right now. And, you know, Microsoft is obviously trying to do their best into getting in this deal to go through. And so if it means that they have to sell certain rights to certain things to get the deal to go through, then that's what they're going to do. And so it's a very good time right now to look at what Microsoft is doing. And, you know, now I think Microsoft is in a step in the right direction. I feel like they are learning from their mistakes slowly. And I know that they still have a lot of work to do in terms of proving to us that, you know, they're really, really serious about pushing these consoles, preferably the Series X, which we're going to talk about in a huge way. Because you guys know that I love the Series X as a console. I think it's a very powerful machine. It's just not being fully utilized. And we have a huge Xbox Series X update here that I think would change the minds and hearts of a lot of you guys, and it will really kind of, you know, shed some light on what we can expect for the future. Now, considering we're approaching year 4, we're going to be approaching soon. I mean, year 3 is literally almost done. We got 4 more months left in the year. And so now it's time to really look at the future and what's happening. And so we're going to talk about the PlayStation 6 into some capacity here because it's very interesting. And I think Microsoft, their main focus, which we're going to be talking about here, is not so much on a more powerful console, which is not needed, because they have made a statement since the very beginning that, listen, we have the world's most powerful console. And granted, being that you have the world's most powerful console, that's just words, basically, because we're still waiting on the fruits of that labor in terms of this power talk and this power narrative. But like I said, things are turning around for the better for Microsoft. I mean, at the start of this year, you know, obviously they talked about doing the game developer updates in terms of, you know, shedding some light and updates on games that is currently in development. So sort of do like a, you know, developer showcase type of thing where they kind of dig deep and the developers talk about the game, which I think is really, really good. They're getting better with their Xbox showcases. And so obviously they had the stronger showcase between them and Sony with the PS5 showcase that we had before. So that is really good news, right? And so now we're going to even talk about more of that when it comes to Xbox Showcase. I know we did talk about Starfield, which we're going to talk about Starfield as well. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if it when it rains, it pours. If you're an Xbox fan right now, I feel like you should feel good because it's just W's today. I think this is just a W. If you're an Xbox fan, if you're a gamer, if you've been on the fence with Xbox, especially the whole Baldurs Gate situation and the parity situation and what's going on with that. And, you know, not only that, but just having Microsoft really kind of raise the bar when it comes to how many development studios they have currently, how many games are being developed, and what we can expect for the future of Xbox. And I think so far we kind of have a clear understanding of what's to come in terms of first-party games. But I really want to highlight some things in this stream because Starfield, I feel good about Starfield. I feel good about it. And I feel like after Fallout 76, that left a sour taste in our mouth. And moving on from that was not easy. And moving forward to Starfield, I just have a good feeling about this game. I feel like it's going to score big, you know, in terms of scores. I mean, it's a Bethesda title after all. And Microsoft needs this W because we know as gamers what Sony is capable of. So we know that Sony has no issues. Sony's been doing this longer. Sony have no problems at all delivering games, right? We know that already. Microsoft, it's almost as if like Sony just easing up off the gas. Well, some people would say, well, they ain't got no games, or maybe, I don't know what it is. Obviously, the ABK situation is kind of settled now for the most part. You don't really hear no huge stuff really kind of rising in terms of news, but it's almost as if like Sony's easing up off the gas and then just letting Microsoft just do their thing, right? And I mean, whether it's just games being delayed internally or whatever is going on at PlayStation right now, and Sony is going to be fine in the grand scheme of things. Sony is not into no trouble in terms of all doom and gloom and they're going to close up and ship sail and whatever. But I feel like the limelight is on Xbox right now. The limelight is on Phil Spencer right now. And with this ABK deal going through, you cannot beat the value of Game Pass. All the games that is, you know, being injected into Game Pass, it is literally insane, especially when this ABK deal goes through. And on top of what we're going to talk about today, this is a huge W. So if you're an Xbox fan right now, you have a lot to be excited about. Not only that, what we're going to talk about today pertaining to the Series X, I think that this is huge because as gamers, as consumers, people who day one like myself bought the Series X in hopes of seeing the advantages of the more powerful hardware being put on display over the PlayStation 5. I mean, we've seen it in certain games here and there, third-party wise. Obviously, first-party, some people will say Forza Motorsport 8. Some people will say, you know, Forza Horizon 5. Some people will say, you know, Gears, what's that Gears, the DLC, can't think of it right now. Hivebusters. You know, but we haven't really seen anything besides Hellblade. Now, Hellblade looks incredible, right? But besides that, we need to see more and more games fully utilizing Series X. And I think that's the biggest disconnect, and that's the biggest issue that we've been encountering this entire generation so far, is we want to see the X being respected and fully represented. Now, obviously, Microsoft is not going to get rid of the Series S. That's not going anywhere. But this is a good sign. What we're going to talk about today in detail, this is a good sign that Microsoft is willing to sacrifice some things in order for the gamers to win. And this is one of the main reasons why I say on this show that you have to speak up. Now, some people, they get mad at me. Oh, Marlon is this. Marlon is that. Oh, Marlon just hating. And like a lot of the let my voice be heard type stuff. I mean, we are seeing it happening right in front of our, we're seeing things change. That's because we, the gamers, we stand up and we are like, listen, enough is enough. Like Microsoft, this parity situation, like this is affecting the games. Stuff that's supposed to come out at said time is not coming out. And now it has to be delayed because of your policy and because of stuff that you put around the lower powered console, which is the Series S. I understand that the Series S is not going anywhere. Anybody will be crazy in their brains to think that the Series S is going anywhere. It's not. And what we're going to talk about today is going to shed some light on that the Series S, whether you like it, yes or no, is going to be Microsoft's main focus. And the downside to what we're going to talk about, it's not all unicorns and rainbows and big W's. What we're going to dig into today is mainly for the Series X, but also the downside is that the Series S is going to continue to be Microsoft's main focus. It's to the point where it's their biggest focus, to the point they don't need to think about anything else. They already got the world's most powerful console. So it's almost as if like Microsoft is easing up off the gas once again, which we talked about Sony easing up off the gas and letting Microsoft go forward with Starfield and all these games and just let them have their glory and whatever the case may be. But on the flip side, now Microsoft is like, listen, we don't need a Series X Pro. We don't need a mid-generation refresh or a next gen or whatever the case may be, another console right now. Our main focus right now is the series consoles, preferably the S, which we talked about this numerous times. We talked about what Digital Foundry was saying pertaining to what Microsoft told them, that the Series S is the main console. Right. And they're going to do anything to make sure that the Series S, gets its shine and continue to be the starting point for development for a lot of the games that are currently in development. So I want to highlight those things so you guys can understand, like, yes, I would want them to focus on Series X more and push that console, because that is a great machine. It's very powerful. There's a lot of capabilities. Developers still have to set in and dial in and really go brute force with what the system can actually do. And so, people that like myself that actually have the console can really start seeing the full potential of this machine and see what it's really capable of. But Series S, which we're going to talk about, is like, well, Phil Spencer, he did touch upon this, and it really goes to show you, like, listen, we are going to continue to push with Series S in mind and do everything that we can. But what we're not going to do is jeopardize our gamers. Thank you, Phil Spencer. Thank you. Like, thank you. You don't want to desert your fan base. I understand that when it comes to Xbox, you have so many different options to play, right? But I feel like at the foundation of Xbox is the console gamer, because that's how it started. It started with the console gamer in mind. It didn't start with the cloud and all this type of stuff, because way back in the original Xbox, we didn't have any of that stuff. It was just the console. All right. So the console gamer needs to be treated with respect. And hold on just a second. I have a knock on my door. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Oh boy. All right. That was unexpected. Yeah, more on that. More on that in a little bit. I was not expecting that at all. Thank you all so much for being patient with me. Oh man. Whew. Okay. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, this is a very good time right now. I would say in years, we've been waiting and we've been hoping and we've been wishing that Microsoft will finally just get it together and just really blow us away. And obviously we're still waiting on the games like to really show us that, well, hey, you know, we still got what it takes and we're still going to bring it back. So we're going to dig into all of that stuff here. We're also going to talk about Starfield because there's some hands-on stuff, obviously, through Gamescom that we're going to be talking about as well. And it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. From what I'm hearing from the video that I saw from IGN with them going over, you know, their hands-on and stuff with the game. And man, it just seemed like there's just so much stuff to do in the game. They were talking about space pirates and artifacts and this and that, and, you know, going from one planet to the other and fighting and, man, with your ship, you know, air combat, stuff like that. This sounds like a game like that you're going to literally get lost in for sure. My biggest thing is, well, how, and I think Todd is like a little bit holding off in terms of like performance wise when it comes to consoles, because FSR 3 is getting ready to drop apparently early September. And once that drops, apparently Starfield will be like the first game to really take advantage of, you know, FSR 3 and hopefully double the frames for the series consoles. And then that would be really nice to be able to play at a higher fidelity, because that's essentially what, you know, stuff like FSR is all about, and DLSS like DLSS 3.5 or DLSS 3. Well, DLSS 3.5 is basically an extension of DLSS 3, but I'm not going to go into the whole DLSS 3.5. But yeah, so essentially it just basically, you know, helps bring up the FPS more. In this case with frame generation, obviously doubling the frames. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that actually pans out. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about Starfield a little bit more too as well. But let's talk about this huge Series X update, right? Because I feel like at the beginning of this generation, I did not like the dashboard for the Series X. I think a lot of people didn't like it. For the Series X and the S, I feel like the dashboard was all over the place. And I think a lot of Xbox fans would agree with me that the dashboard was not good. It was literally all over the place. I mean, it was just an extension of the Xbox One. And so now they've gotten the dashboard a lot better and a lot more unified. And I think that is just really good to kind of hear that. But now we're talking about the games and the future of the Series X and what we could potentially see as gamers in terms of performance on Series X, because that is the console that is seem like it's lost in time and is never gonna get the full justice that it deserves in terms of performance. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about the Series X first, and then we are going to talk about obviously the other stuff like, you know, Baldurs Gate 3 for Xbox, stuff like that, and then take it from there. So the first thing that I want to highlight here is that Phil Spencer, Big W, coming out basically saying that the Series X is at the end of the beginning. So I'm going to say that again. It is at the end of the beginning. And he basically said that I think we need to let devs settle on this hardware. So that's good news. We definitely need the devs to settle in on the hardware. Marlon, why is that? We don't need no new hardware. And this is why I say this is a huge W for Xbox fans, because Why do we need a Pro console? Why do we need something more powerful than Series X? We don't. We need to let developers, and I've been said this, we don't need Phil Spencer to come out telling us this. I told you guys this. We need to let developers, cook with the Series X. I see people talking about, because on the Sony side, well, we're hearing, oh yes, PS5 Pro and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So automatically Xbox fans assuming, oh, we're getting a Series X Pro. You don't need a Series X Pro. Matter of fact, you really don't even need a PS5 Pro. Being honest with you guys, because the reality is that, yeah, people thinking, oh, well, we can't even get 30 FPS, on PS5 and Series X. That's not the machine's fault. That's not the machine's fault. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing, oh, it's Unreal Engine 5. I don't want to hear no Unreal Engine 5 nonsense, because there are games that are Unreal Engine 5 focus and they're running at 60 frames. So I'm not trying to hear that excuse about no Unreal Engine. So you mean to tell me Unreal Engine 5 is that poorly optimized to the point where it can't run at 60 frames on Series X or on PS5? I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. So at the end of the day, a lot of these developers, I understand, and it's just been a label across the entire industry right now where it's just laziness. We're getting lazy garbage port, lazy garbage remakes, remasters, stuff that people don't really ask for. We're seeing legacy IPs being treated like garbage, not really getting the full love and dedication that they really do need. And they're charging full price, whether it's $60, $50, $70 for these games. So I'm not trying to hear no excuse. There's no excuse, right? Now, on the Sony side, obviously, Sony has made it so much more easier than it was ever been for PS3. Even PS4 was easy to develop for as well, but obviously the hardware limitations with PS4. But PS5, oh my God, you have all these capabilities. You have the SSD, you have the IO throughput. I mean, you have everything. So PS5 is more than capable of running games at 4K 60. And it's like, because of the crappiness that we've been getting this entire generation, people are just automatically assuming like, oh no, a Series X Pro or a PS5 Pro will fix it. And it will be the cure for all of this. No, because it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get games running at 30 frames on PS5 Pro and you're going to be pissed off, right? Because, you're going to hear, the PS5 Pro ain't powerful enough. Or, it's Unreal Engine 6. Right? All these type of excuses. I'm not trying to hear that. Now, I understand that some games are more CPU bound. Some games are more GPU bound. Whatever the case may be, that's just the way it is. Right? But there's a thing called scaling. You can scale that stuff down. A lot of the stuff that, global illumination, shadows, reflections, ray tracing, stuff like that could be turned down. We turn that stuff down on PC. You see, the thing is about PC is like, if you don't have a hardware that's powerful enough to be able to run everything on ultra max with ray tracing and all that stuff, guess what? You can turn that mess down. You can turn that down to medium, turn off ray tracing, and automatically you're getting 30, 40, 50 more frames. We need to see the same thing. Most gamers, if not all gamers, don't necessarily really care about all the glitz and the glamour and all the icing on the cake. All people really care about is 60 FPS and performance mode in our games. That's it. And people want to be blown away with graphics, but you don't have to necessarily go all the freaking way out, because at the end of the day, these are consoles, you know what I mean? And we can't upgrade these consoles unless Microsoft or Sony comes out with a much more powerful freaking hardware. So there is that. So I had to highlight that, man, because people are getting it way too twisted. Like, oh, no. We need a Series X Pro. No, we do not. This is more than enough. The Series X is more than adequate enough. Now, let's talk about this, because it says, if you're wondering how far we're in the generation of Xbox consoles, we might have an answer. According to head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, he believes that the Series X is at the end of the beginning right now. Spencer was asked about the Series S not Series S, Series X specifically by IGN earlier today, where he explained that the initial supply issues somewhat lengthened the beginning of the console's life cycle, and the effects of obviously the pandemic lockdown meant that a lot of games got slowed up. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. This is something that we talked about on the channel. We talked about this on the channel, where I felt like these consoles should have been delayed. The Series X and the PS5 and the S should have been delayed 2 years out. Reason why? Because launching in a pandemic was bad. You know, the supply constraints of that. Not only that, but developers have to work from home, right? And it was just not a good time. But at the same time, I felt like people needed something to fall on during the pandemic. You know, everybody was home, and it was an insane time to be a gamer around that time. And now that we're past that, now that what Phil's talking about, the games got slowed up. Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. God bless you. Turn that post notification bell on all. Now that we're out of the excuse of, you know, the pandemic, because yeah, 2 years ago, that was an excuse to say, you know what? Obviously, Microsoft, they didn't launch with any games for the Series X, which is a shame. But at the same time, I'd rather them launch with nothing than launch with garbage. And that was the very first time in years, in literally years, because almost every single console before the Series X, we had Halo launching, you know, a big title launching, and nothing. So yes, the games with that goes without saying. That goes without him saying that. Like, the games got slowed up. And now we can't use that excuse no more. Now we got to push. I don't want to hear no more excuse about supply constraints, pandemic. That stuff is old news. Time to push the throttle, because Microsoft has way too many games in the oven right now. I don't want to hear no more excuses. I need to see games being pushed, right? And that also means that Microsoft has to raise the bar in terms of what? Management. Because that is also another issue too as well. And Phil touched upon that at the Kind of Funny Xcast. Like, we need to do a better job managing these studios and managing these games. And he did say that we didn't do a good job with Redfall. And that's what I'm saying. That is a living testimony. That game will always be a prime example of what not to do in the industry. Okay. Because if you don't do your job managing these studios and making sure that these developers are comfortable, they have access to these tools and being able to push said console, then you're going to get garbage like Redfall, and you're going to get unpolished, unoptimized dumpster fire. And then that's not going to be good, right? And then you're going to continue to be way in the back of the line. Do you want to be at the back of the line, or do you want to be at the front of the line? Microsoft used to want to be at the front of the line. 2019, 2018, 2017, Microsoft, different Microsoft from what we got right now. But they're getting back there, because there's a lot of, you know, different pieces to this that I feel like a lot of people are not looking at. And I feel like they're trying to do a Thanos type thing where they're getting all the stones together and they're trying to make sure once all the stones are aligned, snap finger. So, but that's going to be a while before you can do this. Okay. You do this when you execute every single thing and execute all your resources and making sure that all these development studios that you're acquiring, that you're maximizing all the potential of these studios and all the talent you have, and everybody is happy. Everybody is doing their jobs in terms of what they're supposed to do to bring the highest quality possible to our gamers. That's really what it really boils down to. So let's also touch upon this, because it actually slowed up a lot of the games, and he said, which has resulted in a swell of recent releases. Now, Let's dig down at the bottom here. Xbox boss went on to suggest that it's important to let devs settle on this hardware and get the most out of it, and reiterated that the focus right now, hold on, pump your brakes. This is what I was telling y'all. Reiterated that the focus right now is with the increased storage of the Series S. What did I told you guys at the beginning of this stream? I don't know if y'all were listening to me before I had to get up and go to the door. Told you guys. All right. Hear what he said. Yes. We want to settle on this hardware. We want developers to, we don't have any plans of coming out with anything more powerful than Series X. We want developers to settle in on Series X and get the most out of it. But right now, our focus is Series S and making sure that we launch that 1 terabyte console. I told you, because that's important for them. Because at the price point, right, and them offering the Nintendo Switch price point to get you into next generation gaming at a entry level performance and performance per dollar, that's their main focus, because they know the more Series S they sell, the better it is for them in terms of growth for their ecosystem and also for Game Pass. So that Series S is always going to be first and foremost. And this is why I was telling you guys, I'm happy we got this huge update for Series X, because we need to know, do you even give a doggone about Series X? I mean, it's sitting in boxes on shelves and people, you know, are hoping and wishing and praying. Now, obviously now a lot of people are buying Series X's apparently, allegedly, because of Starfield. Starfield is one of the biggest, if not the biggest Xbox game in years. So yeah, most people don't care about 60 frames. Most people on the casual side, they don't care. They're going to buy a Series X to play that 4K 30. And if that's you, I'm happy for you. As long as you're going to play the game and enjoy the games. Hey, you know, different strokes for different folks. Some people, you know, don't care about frames. Some people just, as long as the game is playable, that's all that matters. And that's all that should matters, right? Who cares about 60 frames when you're a gamer that generally, you know, you're looking at it as, well, as long as the game is playable, I mean, 30 frames, it's playable. So who cares about 60 FPS? I'm going to buy a Series X. If that's the type of person you are and the mindset that you have, there's nothing wrong with that, because not everybody is going to push for higher quality or push for higher FPS. That's all facts, man. You guys know it too. So, but there's that, you know, Phil basically saying, listen, like, Series S is our main focus right now. So there's that. Also, this is where the PlayStation 6 situation gets very, very spicy here, because obviously we have PS6, which is like 2028, I believe at this point, 2028 for the PS6, fall 2024 for the PS5 Pro, and maybe 2025. We'll see what happens on that, if it's going to happen, right? We heard from Tom Henderson. We heard from Red Gaming Tech pertaining to the PS5 Pro and how it's going to be a ray tracing monster. And I think it's what, 23 to 24 teraflops, whatever. There's that, right? We're not going to go into all the specs, the alleged specs of the PS5 Pro. But we want to talk about Microsoft's future, where they sit at in the pack if Sony does come out with a PS5 Pro. Now, which we heard Phil Spencer said before that we're okay with the Series X. There's no need for a mid-generation refresh because the Series X is the mid-generation refresh. So there's no need for that, right? It's far way more powerful, and developers need to keep on getting the most out of it. I mean, the more and more they get used to the tools and they have more accessibility and things of that nature, the better it is. Now, let's touch upon this. So Xbox Series X doesn't need a major upgrade right now. Thank you. Marlon, why is that? Marlon, why is that? I'll tell you why that is. Why? Why do you need something more powerful than Series X? You will have to be crazy in your brains to sit there and hoping and wishing that Microsoft is going to follow Sony if Sony is really going to do a PS5 Pro and come out with more powerful hardware. There's no need for that, considering that Microsoft needs to get seasoned into the idea of fully utilizing hardware. That's one thing advantage that we'll say about Sony and what they have done this entire generation. And even before, like, they know how to utilize hardware, and we have seen it right in front of our eyes. I don't have to say games. You guys know what the games are. Now, digging into this, it said that the Xbox Series X doesn't need a major upgrade right now, suggests Phil Spencer. We are pretty set on the hardware that we have. You're doggone right. We don't need a Series X upgrade. For what? And you're not treating the Series X with the love and care and respect that it deserves. You're mistreating the Series X. Obviously, Series S is going to get all the love and all the praise and have to be developed for first, front line, and center. This is very important, guys. So basically, he says that's not the feedback we're getting right now. So in other words, apparently, Xbox fans are not pushing Microsoft to do a Series X Pro. I mean, you will be insane to push Microsoft for that as an Xbox fan. See, they're going to listen to the Colt Eastwoods of the world. They're going to listen to the dealers of the world. They're going to listen to the Dustin Legary of the world and all these other higher tier guys, in upper echelon guys, the Greg Millers of the world. Those are the guys. If Pat Paris, Lilly, those type of guys, they're talking to Phil. You know what I mean? They're not pushing for Series X Pro. So that's not the feedback that they're getting. And it shouldn't be the feedback, because that would be insane for you to sit there and push for that when we're not seeing what the Series X is capable of. So right now, it says that we're pretty set on the hardware that we have. And so this is like what it is. Now, regardless of a PS6, obviously by then, you know, we'll see what they do. Obviously, that's going to be a new generation. But in terms of PS5 Pro, let Sony do what they do. I would let Sony do what they do. Y'all already have something more powerful enough. Y'all have so much more to prove to gamers than Sony. At least Sony has been showing what the console can do. They have given us Ratchet and Clank. They have given us Demon's Souls, right? They have given us Returnal, which is a game that really shows you the full capabilities of the PS5 SSD. Now, from a graphical standpoint, not so much, but in terms of the speed of that game, yeah, that is literally insane. Obviously, you know, pushing forward, we had, you know, Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores. I mean, even the last boss for that game, that is truly next generation, right? So we have seen Sony time and time again showing us what the PS5 can do. I mean, they've given us games. Now, whether you think those games are next generation or not, then that's entirely up to you. Mileage may vary, but I'm just telling you guys off the rip, like, this is what it is. And so there's that in terms of the Series X, in terms of update and what we can expect, you know, for the future and stuff like that. Like I said, I want Microsoft to lock in front and center and really manage these studios correctly and allow these developers to do their best so that we can get the best. Because we're paying for Game Pass every month, and we're demanding quality, and we're demanding that the Series X get the love and attention that it deserves. So there is that. All right. So now we got that out the way. Make sure y'all like the stream, share the stream, subscribe, turn the post notification bell on. If you have any questions during our show, don't hesitate to super chat if you have any burning questions. So here's another W. Here's another W. So listen, now, say what you want to say about Baldur's Gate 3. It might not be your cup of tea. This game is the highest rated game of 2023. And Microsoft would be a fool to let that just launch on PS5 and give Sony the upper hands. I mean, we have PlayStation fanboys was really crazy in their brains to think that, oh, Baldur's Gate 3 is a PS5 exclusive when it's not. And obviously, you know, the whole parity situation, the whole clause situation where you have to keep the same features that's on the S, on the X, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be, or nothing at all, or delay the game. And so I'm happy to announce that Microsoft, oh my God, thank you so much, because Xbox fans deserve this, right? I mean, Xbox fans have been deserted. Xbox fans have been left out in the cold for way too long. PlayStation fans been eating real good since the start of this generation and still eating good, even though the food is not so much in 2023. But other than that, they still eating good because they got Spider-Man 2. And obviously they have some other games around that second and third party. So PlayStation fans are still eating good. I don't understand why they're sitting here crying and whining about Starfield when in reality, you can play Starfield on anything right now. Literally anything with internet, you can play Starfield. So there is that. But back to the Baldur's Gate situation. This is huge. And the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is confirmed for Xbox in 2023, that's a big W considering that it was delayed for 2024 because of the parity situation and what Microsoft actually put in place. And so now it's really good to see that the Series S version is going to be ditching local co-op. Thank you. Marlon, why is that a big dub? I'll tell you why it's a big dub. Because a lot of people don't care about local co-op. A lot of people don't care about split screen and things of that nature. You know, it is something that is developed with the game in mind. But the fact that, well, you know, they're just pulling these things away and, you know, hey, you know what? It's not going to launch with this. It's not going to launch with that, whatever the case may be. But with Halo, people made a big deal out of it, right? Some people say, oh, I don't care. I don't care about split screen for Halo. I don't know why people was blowing up about that and blah, blah, blah. But there are people out there who care about stuff like that. And so the fact that they're ditching this for the Series S, this is a step into the right direction for future games. Why is this a big dub, Marlon? For future games, when stuff like this happens again, Microsoft can backpedal and learn from their mistake. Like, you know what? We're not going to delay both versions of the game for Series X and for S. No, we're going to ditch whatever feature it is that is really not important in the grand scheme of things, because really and truly, all people really care about is the core gameplay. Being able to play the game and have fun, be able to play online, whatever the case may be. But local co-op, stuff that majority of people don't necessarily care about in 2023, this is definitely a huge W for Microsoft once again. And I'm telling you, they need these Ws. So it says, we have found a solution. So basically, in a couple of tweets, Vinkel explained that Larian came to a decision after meeting with Xbox boss Phil Spencer at Gamescom earlier in the week. Although he stopped short of revealing any kind of specific release date. Quote, super happy to confirm that after meeting Phil Spencer yesterday, we have found a solution that allows us to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox players this year. Still something that we have been working towards for quite some time. All improvements will be there. With split screen co-op on Series X, Series S will not feature split screen co-op, but will also include cross-save progression between Steam and Xbox Series. Huge W. Because I feel like, man, you're letting Sony get the upper hand on you. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 in Sony's defense, was huge on the PlayStation Store. I mean, it was skyrocketing when it comes to concurrent players on Steam. I think it went from 600,000 to well over 700,000 players on the release of it. And so I'm like, wow, with the success of how it's running on PC, Sony being the only console maker with the game on there, I mean, that is a huge limelight. I mean, I'm pretty sure people was buying PS5s left and right because, well, maybe people are just console gamers. Some people are just console gamers and they're like, oh, well, the series version is delayed because of the parity situation. But hey, you know what? Now that this is a grand major announcement, who knows? Maybe people might be going out there buying, series consoles just to play this game if they don't already have one. So I want to see stuff like this moving in the future in terms of do something, try to make a way to make this happen, man, for the gamers, because we, the gamers, we're the ones that are suffering. Like, make a way out of no way, sacrifice some things to get the game out. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, as long as the core features are shipping with the game, that's all that matters. The features that really matters the most, the features that gamers are going to fully utilize, that's it. Because we have seen games now that are launching without features. You know what I mean? Forza Motorsport, for instance, 3 features being missing from the game, right? So, hey, ship the game, right? And as long as, I feel like if the core stuff that is important to people are not missing, people will be fine. People are not going to be bent up out of shape and make a big deal out of it. If there are core features that are missing from the game, people are going to be upset. That's just the way it is. I mean, there's no way around it. But I think at this point, people really want to play games. People don't want to hear, oh, this is getting delayed because, we need more time for features. It's one thing to say you need more time to polish up and get everything done in terms of the graphics or in terms of the overall polish of the game, bugs, glitches, stuff like that. But feature-wise, nobody wants to deal with that, considering the other console manufacturer, which is Sony, is getting the upper hand. You see what I'm saying? So I just have to highlight those things as things that are very, very important. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the actual comment section. All right. So big W there again. So let's move on. Hopefully y'all enjoying the stream so far. I mean, I'm enjoying the stream. So yeah. Now, here is another update that I want to highlight. Make sure y'all share the stream, hit the like button. Here's something else I want to highlight. Microsoft has you can get this out of your heads. Get this out of your heads. Microsoft is not going to be ditching the Series S. So get it out of your head. It's not going to happen. Okay? And I told you guys that because that's their box. That's their pride and joy. Okay? That's their system seller. That's what they sell you on when it comes to Game Pass. That's the Game Pass machine. It ain't going nowhere. If you think that's going anywhere, you're sadly mistaken. Then you don't understand what's going on here. That's their golden child. That's not going anywhere. Are you crazy? I'm going to need for you to rethink and understand what's going on here. That's not going anywhere. Now, regardless of the limitations of the hardware in terms of VRAM and the clause of, feature this, feature that. Well, it's not going anywhere. And so in the wake of the whole Baldurs Gate 3 situation, well, yeah, let's talk about this because this is something that Xbox fans need to know and understand exactly what's going on. Now, in an interview with Eurogamer, Xbox Phil Spencer was asked about the hypothetical future where Series S could be left behind for some titles, which we all have questions of this. Now, whoa, this is Phil. On S specifically, we designed the box with similarities to the X and clear places where we are targeting different performance And we are taking feedback from devs, including LAREL. I met with them today to talk about it, and I'm confident we are going to find a good solution, and we are going to learn. I don't see a world where we drop S. Told you guys, are you insane? Get that out of your brains. You can forget it. That's the Game Pass machine. It's not going anywhere. That's Microsoft. That's going to continue to be Microsoft's main focus this entire generation. Yes, they want developers to settle in, which we were talking about earlier. They want developers to settle in into the Series X and get the most out of it. That's enough with Series X, and we're not going to do a mid-generation refresh. That's enough. That's all you get for Series X. That's a huge enough update to kind of see what the future holds for Series X. But our main focus will and continue to be Series S. So for those of you thinking, oh, Microsoft need to drop Series S, not going to happen. So get that out of your mind. Okay? Now, let's move along. Phil went on to say that plenty of games already contain different feature sets for Series X and S, mentioning that ray tracing, which is very taxing on any hardware. I mean, I've seen Cyberpunk 2077 with how many updates that game you have gotten so far is bringing 4090 to its knees without DLSS. You know, I mean, this is like, you know, ray tracing overdrive, everything turned up, everything. And without DLSS 3 and frame generation, it's just kind of like, purp. So he's talking about ray tracing and how, this is crazy, is sometimes absent on the cheaper system. Of course it's absent because ray tracing is not something to play about. You don't want to involve ray tracing on weaker, cheaper hardware. I mean, try mess around with ray tracing on 3070 Ti or a 3070 or a 4060 or 4050, let alone 4070. And we're seeing it with 4090 and 4080. Like, these cards are literally nothing without DLSS and frame generation. We're talking about raw brute force ray tracing, ultra settings turn up. Good luck with that. Good luck if you're going to get even 60 frames, let alone this cheap box that Microsoft have. Now, we've seen fake ray tracing like with Watch Dogs Legions on the Series S, but nothing like really hardcore like how it is on Series X. But hey, I digress. Now, however, the company is committed to bringing games to console even if features are cut on S. Microsoft, that's all we wanted from the very beginning. Maybe if this was rigided down to LAREL or other developers in the beginning, maybe none of this wouldn't have happened in terms of delay. Maybe, you know, this would have been the thing in the first place. Like, listen, we're going to sacrifice, and LAREL, they even said it, like, we're willing to cut this feature and launch the game as is. You know, the Series X have the local co-op, Series S don't, and it is what it is. You got to understand that you bought the cheaper hardware. You bought the cheaper hardware. Don't expect, and I'm happy that Phil is coming out saying this, don't expect ray tracing and insane level of performance. Now, this box has been marketed as a 1440p 120 FPS box. So we're not clearly going to get every single game at 1440p 120. Now, there's more than a few games, more than a few, with 1440p, with 60 FPS. There's games that runs on Series S for 1440p 120. There are things that even goes up to higher than that, right? But that's really good to highlight that, because some people think, oh yeah, well, I'm expecting the same thing as Series X. You're not going to get that. You're definitely not going to get all the nice features and capabilities of Series X. It's just, you can't just take a Ferrari engine and put it in a Ford Focus chassis and expect the same level of performance. At the end of the day, it's a Ford Focus. It's not going to go that fast. I'm sorry. It's just not going to be the same as a Ferrari. Like, you can't just take a Ferrari engine and put it in a Ford Focus and expect, oh, wow. Ooh. No. It wasn't designed to go that fast. So, there you go. Now, let's finish this off. He said, not the Ford Focus. Coming from somebody that had a Ford Focus, yeah, there's no way you put in a Lambo engine in a Ford Focus and now it's about to go 220 on the dash, or it's about to go 200 miles an hour. Yeah, we start seeing doors and hinges falling off that mug. Wheels falling off that mug. You know what I'm saying? The whole entire car starting to fall apart. Yeah. Listen, the goal is never, ever, 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 ever in your mind expect the same level of performance that a Series X has to offer from an S. This is not going to happen. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It wasn't in the DNA in the very beginning for that to even happen in the first place. So I'm happy. Ford Escort. Yeah, there you go. Ford Escort. Oh, boy. That little thing. Let's finish this off. So there are features that ship on X, which we just talked about. There are features that ship on X today that do not ship on S. Just talked about this. Even from our own games, like ray tracing that works on X, that's not on S in certain games. See that? So for an S customer, they spent roughly half what the X customer bought. See what I'm telling you? In other words, if you want a Ferrari, go buy a Ferrari and stop being cheap. Stop trying to jerry rig every doggone thing. Stop trying to get a Lambo engine and putting it into a Corolla. Don't do that because it ain't going to fit. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and let's finish this off. So, they have to understand that it's not going to run the same way. Exactly. That was what I just said. You know what I'm saying? That's what I just said. You want a supercar? You want a super console? Go buy a super console. Go buy a supercar. Stop trying to jerry rig every single thing into what you want it to be. Go buy what you want to buy. Roll with the big dogs. If you got that type of bread, you want that type of performance, buy what you want to buy. You know what I mean? You can't just buy an S and expect X performance. That's not how it works. So, let's finish this off. I want to make sure games are available on both. That's our job as a platform holder, and we are committed to that with our partners. And I think we're going to get there with Larian. So that's good news. The fact that they're going to get there with Larian in terms of making sure that they ship this game, even though it's going to, not have the local co-op and things of that nature. And hopefully Microsoft can apply that in the future in terms of future games, because this is going to happen again. And I don't want to see, I want to play this game on Series X or S, and I can't play it because of a stupid feature that is being pulled from the game, like because of, the lower powered console, which he just broke down a while ago. It's insane, right? This is literally fundamental stuff that we already know, right? So there's that. And so he was like, well, not overly worried about that, but we have learned some stuff through it. So there's that. Happy that he kind of clarified some things. And, Series X and S, two different consoles, two different features when it comes to both consoles. And so with that in mind, you buy an S, you're going to get S performance, lower, polygons, and, stuff is not as crisp. It's not 4K. It's not 4K 60. You're not going to get all the bells and whistles of the Series X. You're just not. You know what I mean? So there is that. So just wanted to highlight that for you guys. All right. Now let's move on to Xbox Showcase. because this is where a lot of you guys should be getting excited. Xbox Showcase, Xbox Showcase. Now, here's the thing about this. Sony themselves, I feel like, well, we're not getting another showcase this year. That is just not going to happen. So you can just get that out of your heads and just leave it where it's at. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Okay? So, with that being said, Xbox hints at more regular showcases. Thank you. Oh, psych! Big dub. Big dub. Big dub. Wow. Man, this is the Xbox I want to see. Xbox is hinting that we're going to get more regular showcases now. Why is that? Because they have a strong lineup of games that are ahead of us. You know how many games they have ahead? Too many to count. So, this is something that I've been frustrated with as a Xbox fan. Man, when are we going to see this game? When are we going to see that game? More, y'all should be fire emotes in and going crazy right now. More showcases, considering that they had the better showcase than Sony. This is what we want to see. Let Sony do their little sweet one showcase a year. You know what I mean? Microsoft, you come out, you swing, and push Sony to do more. Push Sony to do more, right? You come out, maybe you might do 2 showcases a year. Wonderful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Come out here and show us the games. That's what we want, right? Because that's what matters at the end of the day. That's what matters to Xbox fans. That's what matters to the X. Bring the X back. That's what we want. Show out. You know what I'm saying? Like, show that you really, really want this. I don't want to hear that shallow-minded, weak-minded mindset Phil Spencer that we had at XCast. Kind of funny, talking about, oh, you know, we're not the blue guys or whatever. Who cares? You don't have to be the blue guy. You don't have to be the blue guy. You know, be you at the end of the day. Be you at the end of the day and be the best you that you can be in terms of you being a company, in terms of you being an organization, in terms of you being a corporation. You need to stand out. Show Sony what's up. Ain't you tired of Sony bodying y'all? I mean, for real. I mean, Sony's been just pushing y'all around for years. And then now all the fun and game is over with, to the point where Microsoft is like, enough is enough. Now we fixing to buy our way. Now we fixing to buy our way, and ain't nobody gonna stop us. And they have made that statement very clear right now, that nobody can stop them. Literally, back in 2019, with Matt Booty, with the emails coming out and what their plans were, literally to buy the entire freaking industry and buy Sony out of business. So we need to see this aggressive Microsoft. Strong lineup of games is what we want to see. High quality games is what we want to see as Xbox fans. No more excuses about no pandemic or anything like that. Some of you guys should be feeling the same way how I feel right now. This is good news. We need more showcases. We need more, you know, shows representing the upcoming games. Not even just the Xbox showcases. We need full representation of developer updates. Continue what you started, right? You started with these, you know, developer updates. Do those 3 a quarter, 4 a quarter. I don't freaking know, as much as possible so that people can see what's going on with Perfect Dark. Like, I feel like they need to do specific developer, you know, shows specifically for said game. So like, okay, just like what Sony does with their state of play. Start doing that, man. Start doing that. What's up with Perfect Dark? What's up with Fib? Can we see some gameplay? Can we get some insight on how things are going? Y'all think this is a joke. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired of this, lackadaisical mindset. Now is time to floor it. Leave everything in the rear, bro. I mean, the whole rear could be falling off. Everything behind you could be being destroyed and ripped apart. Keep going forward, because you don't cry over the Xbox One generation, right? Don't cry about your third place. Keep freaking going. And I really hope that Starfield is going to be that game that really, really puts Microsoft back in the light that they need to be in. This is no game. This ain't no joke. This is reality. No, I know some of you guys can agree with this. And I know you guys want Microsoft to be aggressive. Yes, I get mad all the time. You guys get mad all the time. Man, Microsoft needs to just quit. Nah. Now that we're seeing a more aggressive Microsoft, now that we're seeing that they really, really do want this, they want to stay in the console business, they want to give Sony a run for their money. It's not about buying. You can buy all you want, but make sure the games are doing the talking. Yes, I have to take a page out of Jim Ryan's book because that's the best quote ever of all times. Even if he stepped down as president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment and PlayStation, that quote will forever be in our minds and in our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, are you listening to me? Or I'm preaching to somebody today? Are you hearing what I am saying? Let the games do the talking, because now ain't no more excuses. Games time. It's game time. Game time. Game time. Now, good news. This is massive. So many W's today for Xbox, man. Give it up for Xbox, bro. So many W's. So many W's. Love to see it. Love to see it. So, speaking to IGN, Spencer admitted that Xbox has typically talked about games on an annual basis over the past couple of years, but because of the upcoming portfolio is so strong, that's been starting to change. So in 2023 alone, we have already seen Developer Direct. Please continue that, Microsoft, if you're watching this. Multiple ID Xbox shows. Please continue that, because we have so many indie developers on the rise right now. So many talented studios and developers. No excuses. We're tired of freaking excuses at this point. The Xbox Showcase, which we just had, Xbox Showcase extended events, a Starfield Direct. Heck yeah. Just like we got that Starfield Direct. That's what we're talking about. Talk about the games. We understand that these games are taking longer than usual. Like, shout outs to Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier said, man, going into a console generation, a lot of these games, if they're just now starting development, you can forget about half of these games launching on these consoles. They're going to be for the next generation of consoles because they're taking so long. 10 years. There's one game that got announced for a couple games that got announced for Xbox, and they're 10 years in the making. They're literally 10 years from now, like 8 years, 7 years from now. Like, that's a long time. That's a long time. And the more updates that we can get on these games, the more invested people are going to feel when it comes to these consoles. This is all facts, man. This ain't cap. This is, well, not the cap I have on my head, but just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is real. Like, this is what it boils down to. People want to see the games because people want to feel like they're invested in something that is worthwhile. They're seeing these games get announced. No longer we can have to sit here and games are getting announced too early, because that's what a lot of people say. And that's what I will keep on saying. A lot of these games get announced way too early, and then we don't see nothing on the game for like 4 or 5 years. No, sir. No, sir. So here's a bit of what Spencer teased in regards to future showcase plans. Now, what I can say is we're going to have more beats to talk. We're going to have more beats to talk about more of what we can do because the content lineup is so strong. Let's go, man. Let's go. It says you are going to see more regular times to talk about our games because the portfolio is deep enough that we can support that. Let's freaking go. Let's go. All right, so yeah, Starfield. Now, let's talk about Starfield. This is like arguably the most anticipated game of the millennium, like of the century. Like this game, I mean, it has so much hype around it. Listen, I am praying that Starfield will be a huge W for Microsoft. Okay. Now, from the previews, from the gameplay leaks, and everything that we've been hearing about Starfield at this point, can't stop the hype, regardless of people being negative. Oh, I'm getting rid of my Series X, and people are still hyped for this game. Now, whether it still remains to be seen if this game is going to live up to the hype, but from what we're hearing from critics and what they have to say, being that the game was playable during Gamescom, and stuff like that in terms of Microsoft actually playing this stuff and showing it off. Now, we do have a little bit of update here just to kind of go over, and then we're going to dive into something else afterwards. So, Starfield Xbox Game Pass release times confirmed by Bethesda. So, basically, the standard edition included with Game Pass launches on September 5th at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET, and September 6th, 1 a.m. BST, and 2 a.m. CEST. So there it is. That is when you can expect to start, being able to dig in terms of, Starfield for Game Pass and such. So convert the times, guys. There's that. Also, I really wanted to highlight this. I know that this might not be enough for you guys, but I thought to myself, I said, well, this is coverage here because this kind of gives us a little bit of insight. I know I would rather see, sort of raw gameplay and things of that nature for this title. But at the same time, like I said, they're making us wait. They're making us wait at this point on Starfield. I mean, the embargo and stuff like that. It's real, right? And they're trying to hold everything. I mean, they don't want to spoil anything and stuff like that. And so I really wanted to show this off because maybe this might give you guys even more hype for the game or whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, IGN had their little 5-minute Starfield type of revealed discussion and what's going on. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at it. All right, so let's drag this over here for you guys. And yeah, let's dig into this. Let me stop that garbage. And playing some copyright freaking music as per usual. Persona. Let's go, guys. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, wait. There we go.
Go, we saw a lot. I feel like what we saw is maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the game, but kind of more, it seemed a longer mission condensed. There was a lot of
What's up, X? Make sure y'all hit the like button for me, subscribe.
They sped it up, and it looked like it was the first mission of the game. That's what it was. It was the intro of the game called One Small Step. Nice little nod to NASA there. But yeah, it was... Where do we start? You start as a miner, it looks like, so you're kind of in the depths. I think there was the moon of Vectera. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. I don't think that's a real place. Maybe it is. I'm not some sort of, I don't know everything about space, you know what I mean? But it started out with that classic Bethesda kind of throwing you into the world, close to people's faces. Yeah. You were kind of, felt like it was almost like your first day on the job sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And it had sort of that, already a couple of characters there that had that Bethesda mix of like authority and charm. There was a little bit of humor there already. Mm-hmm. They're just so good at that writing, I think, of like bringing a bit of humor, but also like emerging you into a world so quickly, just like throwing slang, like calling you a dusty. I don't know what a dusty is.
I thought they were just talking to me the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I'm like, well, that was my nickname growing up. My grandfather used to call me that. That works.
It probably was exactly that. This is a game where you roleplay as Destin Legaria in space.
Exactly.
So if that's your sort of thing, maybe Starfield is you. But
I was immersing myself.
Exactly. That was merely like the first 30 seconds of this. So you're kind of working your way through this mine. You've got this sort of like laser cutter thing. So you're kind of doing, kind of reminds you a little bit of No Man's Sky at the start. They're kind of just like, you know.
Oh, you see? Listen to that. Listen to what he said. You know, during the beginning stage of the game where you're using the laser cutter to like mine stuff or whatever, and he was like, man, that really puts him in mind of No Man's Sky. I mean, literally. I mean, if you look at No Man's Sky with the same type of mining off the rocks and stuff, I mean, there you go. I mean, you heard what he just said, right? Let me back up. This is why I want y'all to watch this. You heard what he said. Reminds him of No Man's Sky. Okay, in terms of, you know, using the laser cutter and stuff like that. So
you just call me that. That works.
It probably was exactly that. This is a game where you roleplay as Destin Legaria in space.
Exactly.
So if that's your sort of thing, maybe Starfield is you. But
I was immersing myself.
Exactly. That was merely like the first 30 seconds of this. So you're kind of working your way through this mine. You've got this sort of like laser cutter thing. So you're kind of doing, kind of reminds you a little bit of No Man's Sky at the start. They're kind of just like, you know, pushing a laser into some rocks to get some ore. I believe it was beryllium. I'm keeping all these things in mind. But then you can go deeper into this cave, and there's this weird sort of like glowing artifact thing that you touch.
And of course you touch it.
Of course you touch it. And it's like...
And nothing happens, and it's unremarkable.
Exactly, and the game ends.
No.
No, what happens is you kind of touch it. It looks like you're having these sort of almost like 2001 A Space Odyssey like visions. It's almost quite similar to, do you remember the opening of Mass Effect 1 where you touch the thing?
I thought of the same thing.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're playing on that deliberately, but it's a cool opening, and then you kind of you've obviously blacked out from that, and you wake up and you're straight into character creation, which they kind of blitz through. I reckon most people, I mean, I know I'm going to spend at least an hour on that, like choosing all my different, I don't know how many moles I want, but also, you know, my background, my traits.
Well, yeah, the background and traits are really important because there seem to be conflicting backgrounds and conflicting traits where you pick one, you can't pick the other one, etc.
Yeah, there must have been at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen different backgrounds there. And it looks like whatever one you picked, you got a bit of reactive dialogue from the person you were creating the character with. So that was cool. So there's again, that kind of emerging you into this world straight away. You feel like a part. And then you get what I feel like is, you know, the Bethesda step out moment that they like to put in all their games. You know, in Fallout, you get a vault opening. In Skyrim, you get a big old dragon coming up ahead. Yeah. This time, this sort of like medical facility, I guess you're in. The door opens and you find out you're on like the surface of this like beautiful looking moon, and the music, like, barely seen any of this game, but I've been listening to this score for like at least a year now though. The music in this game is just stunning. What were your initial impressions of that step up moment? Because I think it's always more impressive maybe if we got to play it and the build up, but like it didn't quite hit me quite like, you know, a vault opening necessarily.
So for me, I don't think that is actually intended to be their step up moment, because there's a combat scenario that happens and you sort of learn how to fight the other mercenaries or whatever they're called. And then you get on your spaceship and you go to space. Yes. And I think that's the moment that they're targeting.
I think like Todd Howard previously mentioned, it's probably a couple of years ago now, that Starfield has multiple step-out moments. So maybe that's, you know, one of them. Space is another one. Later we'll maybe hint on what might be another one of those. But yeah, you mentioned these like pirates turn up. The Crimson Fleet, we've heard about them. They turn up because they're hunting basically this character you meet who's going to buy this artifact off you at this spaceport called Barrett. He's part of Constellation, who kind of seem this almost like mythical, like folklore group of explorers in this universe. Like they talk about half the workers in this mining facility not even believing they exist. So that's like an interesting I like that sort of like, almost like legendary aspect to it. And then you're encouraged after this fight to go to Constellation, to join them and deliver this artifact, because they've been searching for these around the galaxy.
Yeah, and I really like how they teach you combat in that early section. I'm like, okay, well, I'll at least know how to deal with that. But for me, that space moment was it. That's where like it really piques my imagination, and I start thinking about the possibilities of future jumps that I'll be doing. What will the experiences be like when I find planets that I could land on? Because they have you go land on the next planet where you have to deliver the artifact, right?
Exactly.
And something really interesting happened in the menu. I don't know if you picked up on it, but it was like something like bad cargo not detected.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you have like something illegal, if that's
Robert,
the space police are coming.
Are the space police coming? Like, what happens in that situation? Can you talk your way out of it? And you're like, oh, my equipment's being weird.
There's so many possibilities. Like, even going back to that initial like fight against like 5 or so pirates, the pick up a weapon objective was optional, so I don't know if there's a pacifist way of getting through that somehow. Like, as you said, you go into space and you're instantly ambushed by these Crimson Fleet pirates again. I believe their ships are called Ghosts, I think, which is a cool name. And yeah, there's a little dogfight section. You don't really get from that how you do that, but it looked pretty solid. I'm a sucker for space combat. They're always my favorite part of Star Wars games is space combat. So if I'm doing a lot of that, I'm happy. And like you said, almost the third step out moment, it seems, will be arriving in New Atlantis, which is the city where Constellation seem to call home. And we saw little glimpses of that city. They did like a fun little montage, like cool little coffee shops, some nice gardens, like massive skyscrapers. I don't know. They've said this city is huge. It looks huge. I don't know quite the scale here, but like we're going to get lost in not only the universe, but just this one city, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the briefest part of the whole demo, too. Like, a lot seemed cut out, and then you're just delivering. You're going to the door, and you meet that tribunal, or whatever they're referred to as in the game. And we have a lot to talk about. Then it closes on that moment. I thought it would close when you jump to space, or like at one of those jump out moments. Or
it just goes, they tease that sort of, it's almost like, I don't know if you're joining Constellation, you're just going to work with them. I don't know if they're even the like evil force in this game. Who knows? But like, that tease of like the adventure has begun. I just like kind of the aesthetic of the Constellation building. Like already we've seen like a sand-colored mine, space itself, like a dusty spaceport.
The palette is awesome.
Yeah, like the city is just like showing like a proper like sci-fi futuristic skyscrapers. But then the Constellation like seemed like their headquarters was like laid on with like dark wood and everything. It was just very nice. I'd like to live there. But yeah, I'd like to live in a lot of games. I prefer to live in Starfield at the moment than I would anywhere in Fallout. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, goes without saying, really. Overall impressions, do you like this presentation? I think it was really smart to do it in this big fancy theater where the bass is like punching you in the gut throughout.
Like I said, that music, hearing it with that, I just know when I'm at home now I'm never going to hear it quite like that, which is a little bit sad. But I liked that it was quite obviously the opening game, but it was smart to show, like, you can already see you get so much variety in this opening. Exploration, like navigating conversations, ground combat, space combat, like exploration of a city. Like, I don't know, it's just, this game seems like a lot, and I've been waiting for so long like for this game, and so far doesn't look like it's gonna let me down. I'm excited to learn more, and those are just the building blocks of what you can experience later on. It looks ridiculous.
So, Simon, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about what we saw behind closed doors. And thank you so much for joining us. Let us know if you're hyped for Starfield in the comments below, and for more on all things.
All right, are you hyped for Starfield, guys? Are you hyped for Starfield? Are you hyped? Are you hyped? Are you hyped? Well, that's IGN's quote-unquote first minutes of Starfield gameplay revealed at Gamescom. So, are you hyped for Starfield? Let me know in the comments. Q&A has officially started. Now, let's get to OG Gaming. Thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate it. It says, it's funny anytime you say anything positive about Microsoft. Here come the Pony Express. Pathetic. Angel, thank you so much for the 5 months. It says, I generally hope Starfield does well. Straight from a PS fanboy. Make me, it says make me, but Xbox can't wait to see it. You know, honestly, man, like I said, man, Microsoft needs W's. They need a lot of W because, like I said, when Sony gets cooking, we know Sony don't have issues with putting out games or putting out quality games or whatever the case may be. So it's now Microsoft's time to shine. And like I said, they need to redeem themselves after putting out Redfall, after shipping Redfall in the state that it was in. And there's literally no updates on Redfall. It don't even seem like they even care to even update that game now, months after the release of the game. And so this is, so I'm saying Starfield has to deliver. You know, it just has to deliver. My heart is beating right now. Maybe I need to put on the beater for the heartbeat right now, because Starfield has to deliver. It has to deliver. It just has to deliver, because what you don't want is, you know, 2 failed games, or 2 games that are launched and it's like people are mad and upset, like, oh man, what is this? You know what I mean? Y'all hyped us up and then now this or now that or whatever the case may be. And so the game just has to deliver, man. 25 years in the making. A lot of people really, really want something like this from Bethesda. You know what I mean? And, you know, some people say they call it, you know, Fallout in space, or some people say, oh, it's just another No Man's Sky ripoff, or whatever the case may be. Like, yo, this is the reality, bro. Like, this is what we're up against.
To go even further beyond.
Tony $1.26. After seeing 45 minutes of Starfield gameplay on consoles, we now know why they are showing the game behind closed doors at Gamescom. If the public seen what we've just seen, it would chaos. Headlines would be slightly above red.
Headlines would be slightly above Redfall, would be posted everywhere. Well, like I've always said, there's nothing wrong with showing gameplay. You can't go wrong with showing gameplay. If you're confident enough to give reviewers a review code 2 weeks before the game comes out, you're pretty much confident, right? Am I right or am I wrong? I need somebody to challenge me on this. So it shouldn't be an issue showing gameplay. I mean, because I literally thought, you know, during Gamescom, they were going to show off. I didn't know they were going to do some type of behind closed door type of showcase, like for the game, like show some more footage. You know what I mean? So we haven't really seen the game pass the direct, the Starfield direct. And so from what we've been hearing, you know, from people who quote unquote have the game and things of that nature, and the gameplay that got leaked out, you know, apparently the game got leaked out from start to finish. A lot of people are saying it's literally the best looking Bethesda game ever made. And the game, in terms of quality, is literally like blowing the doors off the hinges. So this is what I'm saying. Like, now, if you're so confident about your game, now is the time. Now is the time. It wouldn't hurt anything to show at least 2 minutes or at least 3 minutes. I mean, the game can't look worse. I'm pretty sure the game can't look worse than the first time when they showed it off last year, right? So clearly it looks better than that. And clearly when we saw it during the, you know, Starfield Direct, it did look good. It did look really good. I told you my gripes with the game is the facial animations, the characters and how they look, and obviously the FPS on the consoles. That is it. But everything else looks good. Starfield looks good. And as an overall package, I want to see how they execute this game. How can you put this together and put it out there and make it make sense? I don't know. It says, I agree, gameplay footage should have been released this week. Exactly. Some people say it looks the same. So this is what we're gonna get. This is exactly what we're gonna get. Now, Angel, thank you for the $2. Says, Marlon, you opening that Series X for Starfield? No, playing it on PC. It says, again, a Sony argument. What else would Pony say? Brandon Lewis, thank you for the 5. Says, Microsoft dealt with the cards with Starfield. I hope that it does well. Competition is needed to keep the race going strong, and that is what we need. Facts. Now, that's facts. That's speaking facts. That is exactly what we need. Now, some people are saying that the game looks the same. Now, let me ask you this. I'm pretty sure y'all seen the leaked gameplay for the game, so let's talk one-on-one. based on you guys saying it looks the same, is that a turnoff that it looks the same from the direct? Because like I said, it looked good. To me, it did. It looked better than when we saw it last year. You know what I'm saying? So is that a turnoff for you guys? Like y'all saying that it looks the same, like there's no improvements since the direct and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I really don't know. Like it's just, I really don't know what to say, honestly. Kendrick, what's popping? Let's go, bro. How you doing? I really don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't know. But all I can say is I have a strong feeling about Starfield. And I see some of y'all asking me my predictions with Metacritic. Do I feel like Starfield is going to outdo Baldur's Gate 3? Realistically speaking, I want to be impressed. I want to be blown away. But do I really think that that's going to happen? Anything is possible. But I just don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But you never know. I mean, it could very well score higher than Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know. Because it's just, there's so much hype. And I feel like we fall in this trap of hyping up a game too much. And then when the game comes out, it's like, and you start playing the game, it's like, oh man, this, oh man, that, oh man, this, oh man, that. We see it happen time and time again. But I feel like it's hard to get a 97 on a game. Or it's even harder. It's even harder to be in the 90s in general, let alone 97. It's hard to beat 97. It's hard. That's a hard task, right? And Microsoft haven't hit high 90s in years. In years, they haven't hit, in terms of exclusives, in years, high 90s, right? So, again, do I think it's going to pass Baldur's Gate? Probably not. Do I think it could possibly be in the 90s? Yeah. It could possibly be in the 90s. If it's meeting people's expectations, if it's meeting the critics' expectations, I don't see why not. But, we will see. You know what I'm saying? It's been a very, very long time since Microsoft scored in the 90s, high 90s, very long time. A lot of us know this. So don't act like we don't know this. So this is the game. If this is going to try to steer Microsoft in the right direction, this is the game to do it. Because there's so much hype, marketing, and just everything around this game. Like, it has to deliver. Considering, I mean, how do you redeem yourself from Redfall? You need this W in a huge way. And I feel like this could be a step. Am I saying that Starfield is going to somehow put Microsoft on the map in a, past Sony and Nintendo or anything like that? No. But it's a step in the right direction. And if they keep on putting out high-rated games like that, it could potentially turn the whole thing around and put pressure on Sony to work even harder and to deliver even more. All right, let's see here. Vital Drip, what's good, fam? Let's see here. Vital Drip says Baldur's Gate and Starfield are two complete different games. I'm actually playing Baldur's Gate right now. Love this game. Yeah, they're two completely different games. But what I'm saying is, in terms of rating, right? Starfield stands the chance of being highly rated. That's the whole point. We know that they're two different type of games, but I'm just saying, like, with everything that's surrounding Starfield right now, the fact that it's a Bethesda game, that alone right there, it's just hype in general, especially in the RPG segment. That's just hype in general. So, but you just never know. You just never know. You never know. It says Game Pass. I love it and I will buy it again. Let's see here. Anonymous, what's popping? Let's go, bro. Make sure y'all hit the like button. But no, it's the reality. It's the reality. Some people don't like hearing the reality. Some people want Microsoft to fail. Some people want, Starfield to fail. No, because we need Sony to be on edge. We need Sony to keep on doing what they've been doing for years and do even better. This is facts. This is facts. So we want Starfield to do good. We want Microsoft to do good. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Now, you don't have to like Microsoft. You don't have to. But I feel like as gamers, we got to get out of that mindset. We got to get out of that shell of wanting to see Microsoft fail. You know what I mean? Like, no, like I want Microsoft to get W's so that this pushes the industry forward competition wise. The better the competition, the better it is for us gamers in general. So we're winning on both sides, regardless if you're team green or team blue or team red, whichever console you rock with. You should want competition, right? Listen, I had to realize that in order for Sony to continue to do what they do, or Nintendo to continue to do what they do, they have to keep on feeling like, okay, we have to raise the bar. We have to continue to raise the bar. We have to stick to what we do best. And if you don't have anything pushing you to that notion, then it's just, I don't know what to say. So Starfield has to deliver, bro. This is serious talk we're talking right now. It has to deliver. I feel like, man, I'll be shocked. Man, I'll be shocked if Starfield scores in the 70s. I'll be 100% shocked. I'll be coming on stream like Sanford, like, oh man, like, bro, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. This is real. We talking right now, son. I'll be shocked if Starfield gets us in the score in the 70s or 60s. I'll be shocked because it just don't seem real. It just don't seem real with everything that is built up on this game. What we saw during the Direct, for some people, they were sold on the game after the Direct. Like I said, I was already looking forward into playing the game. I just needed them to polish up stuff. I needed them to fix the characters and also the 30 FPS on consoles. But hey, it is what it is at this point. And I feel like now we're in a position where it's like, yo, Microsoft needs this. They do. They really do need this. All right, so let's see here. It says that's not a gamer mindset. That's an idiot mindset. It says real gamers play games on any platform. That is true. That is true. And that's what I'm saying. You want Microsoft to do good. You want Microsoft to do good because that brings out the best in each company, right? Likewise with Nintendo, right? You want each platform to do good because the greater the competition, the better the games are going to be. Because there's something pushing said company to continue to drive and strive for excellence. I'm just saying. But as a gamer, like there shouldn't be no restrictions unless it's like financial restrictions. But other than that, if financial, if finances is not an issue, then you should be able to play on whatever console you want to play on and be happy. It shouldn't just be Team Blue. It should be Team Green, Blue, all the colors of the rainbow. Like it should be any color for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be able to play on Switch. You should be playing on Xbox, PC, whatever, like all the way around the board. But some people just want to be Team Blue. And if you're just Team Blue, then hey, each their own. That's just the way it is. I said the Xbox fan base don't say any of that. Well, I mean, hey, man. Listen, man. Listen, bro. I mean, fan base are going to be fan bases, bro. Like, people are going to be negative. Even when there's positive things to talk about, they're focusing on the negative. And it's like, bro, like, if Microsoft is trying and they're trying to do better, then hey, by all means, like, yo, keep going. Keep going. This is what we want to see. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we want to see more showcases. We want to see you focus on Series X. These are key things that I talked about today in the show. Like, we need to see that from Microsoft. You know, not just focusing on the S, which we know that that's their main console of choice, and that's what they're going to keep on, you know, pushing. But at the same time, like, the X needs love too. It says, yo, Marlon, I won an Series S for an arcade machine at Six Flags this past Saturday. I am so excited for it. The problem is that it's gonna take 6 to 8 weeks to ship. Oh no. Well, congratulations on getting a Series S. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Caleb. Happy to hear that, man, that you won a Series S. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. God of War DLC on the way. What do you guys think? After they said that, straight up said that there's no DLC for that game. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We will see. We'll see. We'll see. That's for another day to talk about. We will see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Y'all let me know. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me, guys. Share the stream. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. All right. Come in with your super chats. They're welcome. If you have any more questions, any more concerns, or anything like that, I appreciate you guys. Let's get it popping. All right. Yeah, God of War getting DLC. I don't believe it. I don't. But, hey, even though they already came out and said they had no plans for that. Same thing they said about God of War 2018, but who knows? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Series S is so bad, fam. I gotta be honest, though, fam. Hey, you know, for some people, it's great. You know what I'm saying? If you're a hardcore type of gamer and you care about, you know, higher frame rate, you care about playing older games at the highest fidelity possible, and you care about all the features of the Series X, then, hey, man, I see why you're saying what you're saying, but, hey, I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Unless if we get the game, access to the game, or somebody drops some funds for us to get the game, fine, but probably not. Probably not. He says sell that S. Says, man, I'm not. Hey, man, hey. Some people are okay. Some people are okay with the S. Spider-Man 2 trailer is sitting at 13+ million views. Yeah, Spider-Man, man. That's how Spider-Man rolls. That's how Spider-Man rolls. That's how Spider-Man rolls. If Game Pass is so good, where the 3 or 6 or 1 year option for subscription? Yep. Oh yeah, that's been the case, Dart. It's been the case in terms of Alan Wake 2. But I think they did say they were gonna try or something like that. But I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen. But hey, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me, guys. Appreciate y'all. It says, saw there a Spider-Man PS5. Yeah, there's a Spider-Man PS5 bundle. You didn't know that? Yeah. There are face plates, stuff like that, you know. Yeah. But that's sold out. Sold out. So there's that. Says Marlon, I'm waiting on the ABK deal to come to a close. Hey, you and everybody else. You and everybody else. That's all I can say. You and everybody else. Okay? All right. It says, what's up, Marlon? Phil Spencer said he will be in Starfield in an Xbox spaceship. picking up all the bots on all 1,000 planets. I'm done with you, Machiavelli. I'm done. I can't. There you go, OG Gaming. There you go. People ask questions that are just pretty, you know, obvious. I mean, there it is. There it is. That's why I just said, you know. Sometimes people be trolling too. Says, I don't know. It was said, they said there's a God of War DLC coming. We'll see. Hey, Pobes. What's up, man? Says another W. Thank you, Marlon. Yes, sir. Anytime, bro. We here. Appreciate you for being here, for watching the streams. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all, man, for hanging out, liking the show, sharing the show, subscribing, telling your friends about the show. We here, man. God bless. God bless, man. Thank you. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the show. It says, if you want a Marvel Spider-Man limited edition controller, it's available on PlayStation Direct. Oh, there you go, guys. So if you want to, how many of you guys bought the controller or how many of you guys want a Spider-Man controller? If you do, it's on PlayStation Direct right now. So I would go. Well, stay in the stream and just pull up another tab. All right. Anonymous says, great stream, Marlon. You the man. Appreciate you, fam. God bless. God bless. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. So did you see Spider-Man 2 display?
Yes. We will.
He said, did you see that Spider-Man 2 display at the Fan Expo in Canada? No. I mean, what was it all about? Yo, the homie killer, thank you so much for being a member for 7 months. I appreciate it. Let's get it popping. Says, yo, Marlon, can't wait for my car to be done fixing still. Unfortunately, we'll be paying out of the for insurance. It says also almost finished FF16. Oh, that's what's up, man. Happy yeah, man, stuff is expensive, bro. Stuff is so expensive right now. You just gotta know how to curve that dollar, you know how to curve that dollar, man, because right now it's like for me and stuff, like it's just I got to do that, man. I got to cut back on certain things because it's very slow. It's very slow. Not anonymous, nah. Unless somebody donate, give us a code for the game or whatever. No, I don't have the funds for that right now. Like I got so much stuff going on behind the scenes right now. So I gotta make sure the lights are on. I gotta make sure our internet is going. I got other important stuff right now to worry about when it comes to our show and our channel. So fortunately, I probably won't be able to get it. Now, if we get a code, somebody be generous enough to give us a code, fine, we'll play it. But I'm not about to stress myself out like I used to. It is what it is. He says, my car insurance is and will be $330 a month for the next 6 months. Wow. Not too bad. Not too bad. Hey, there you go, Louis. There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to keep that baby girl fed. Yes, sir. You already know. You already know, man. You know, just I can't do like what I used to do, man. You know, so got so much stuff going on behind the scenes right now. I can't now. Like I said, if somebody gives us a code for the game or donate for the game, whatever, I'll buy it, play it, whatever. I don't care. But I just don't. I got to keep the lights on and focus on other important stuff. So it is what it is. Be rich, my man. Thank you for the $10. Listen, I appreciate the ones who step up and donate to the show. Go above and beyond for our show. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. It helps us out, helps us to keep the lights on and to keep doing more stuff for our show. So appreciate you. Be rich. He says they don't have enough mechanics in Starfield to get a score over a 78. That game is very unfinished. And this will be the end of Xbox. This truly sucks. Man, I hope it's not so, bro. Armored Core OG Gaming. I hope it's not so, Be Rich. I hope it's not so, man. Like, they got to bounce back. They have to bounce back from Gamescom. I mean, not Gamescom. I meant Redfall. They have to. I saw that that Gamescom comment. They have to bounce back from Redfall. They have to. They have to bounce back from Fallout 76. You see what I'm saying? Even though they fixed it with, you know, all type of updates and stuff like that, but at the same time, they have to, bro. They have to deliver, bro. They have to. You know, people are just tired of these L's, bro. Like, it's just L after L after L. We tired of these L's, man. It's time to get dubs. It said you don't buy games. It says you game it for PC, Marlon. It says if you go, it says you can get the deluxe of Starfield for $80 and the standard for $50. Yeah, you're talking about yeah. Games are always, you know, cheaper on PC. But hey, like I said, Be Rich, appreciate the 10, bro. But yeah, it just has to deliver, bro. It just, or else people are gonna be upset. People are gonna be really upset if that's the case. So, he says, I can't believe Stalker 2 is delayed. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised that Stalker 2 is delayed, because I think the studio did touch upon it before that it's not going to make it in 2023. In the very beginning, obviously, with stuff that was going on. But yeah, so I'm not surprised. But I think, you know, this is a solid year for Microsoft besides Redfall. I mean, they have Starfield, they have Forza Motorsport, and what else they have? There's some other stuff that I can't think of off the top of my head. So better than nothing, better than zero. Better than zero. Better than zero. He says people saying that the new trailer looks like they downgraded the graphics. Oh my god. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Next year, yes, next year. They delayed it till next year, Q1 of next year. But what are you gonna do? There's nothing to do. Just gotta accept that. We're just gonna have to accept that that delay and keep it moving. I mean, that's just the way it is. What are you gonna do? He says, yes, Stalker 2 is severely downgraded. Wow. Well, it says, what game were you talking about? Armored Core. He says, Marlon, what if Candy Crush saved the day and year of games? Well, then Candy Crush saves the day. Do you want Candy Crush to save the day and save games? Well, I mean, hey, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to keep it a buck with you guys, you know? I mean, just real. I'm just trying to be real with you. Sony got no games. Okay. Maybe the games that Sony came out with this year and last year and the year before that, well, doesn't appeal with you. So all I can do is respect your opinion on that. Says, I hope Starfield does okay. He says, but the leaks show a mid-game. Oh boy. See what I tell you about leaks? See what I tell you all about leaks? Man, leaks. I don't like leaks, bro. When it comes to gameplay, man, it's so hard to stop that from happening, because it's either you got developers leaking out games, or you have, I don't know, reviewers leaking out the game. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. He says, so we saving Xbox got 2023. I mean, Obviously, they have more first-party output, but we got to see, man. We got to see how Starfield does. You know, we got to see what Forza does and whatever else they got. I'm pretty sure they have some other stuff as well, but hey. I don't respect that opinion because it has no merit and it's a lie. Oh, you talking about Sony has no games? That's his opinion. I'm not fixing to argue with nobody on their opinion, bro. Like, listen, if you say Sony ain't got no games, then hey, this is what it is, man. It says Sony has FF16 and Spider-Man 2. Okay. I mean, hey, if you saying Sony ain't got no games, then that's your opinion. I'm not fixing to waste time and energy arguing with anybody for that matter on what Sony have. I mean, what Sony have out there, they have out there. And if all the games that they put out since 2020 does not stick with you or resonate with you, then hey, it is what it is. Doesn't matter what I have to say or what anybody else have to say for that matter. It is what it is. You like what you like, you play what you play. All facts. It says laugh out loud. Sony has no games. Laugh out loud, y'all tripping. It says we got most of the games. It said take what? I can't see that. It said take the L, play Starfield at 30 frames and 60 frames. You just love me taking L's, huh?
Over 9,000.
Eric, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you so much for stepping up and supporting our show, especially during this rough time right now. I appreciate it. Starfield looks like a upgrade No Man's Sky, upgraded No Man's Sky. Wow. Well, I mean, you heard IGN earlier in that video basically said in the very beginning of the game where you're sitting there mining and stuff like that, it reminds them of No Man's Sky, you know? So yeah, I mean, there you go. There you have it, you know? Spider-Man is a game they aren't dropping as much as Microsoft in 2023, but they got games. There you go. Now, like I said, people saying Sony ain't got no games. Hey, if that's what you think, that's what you think. I'm not about to argue with you and tell you, oh, they got Ratchet and Clank. Oh, they got Demon Souls. Oh, they got Astrobot. Oh, they got what was it? Horizon Forbidden West. You know, Last of Us remake. You know, all these games. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I'm not about to. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So if those games don't appeal to you, then there you go. There you go. I mean, that's just the way it is. It says if PS5 has no games, then why is it selling like crazy? Nobody even buying an Xbox. Like I said, people are buying Xbox apparently to play Starfield. That's what we're hearing now. That's the latest talk of the town. And if that's true, then hey, man, that's great. It says Xbox has games, PlayStation has games. When make a statement that either has no games, it says that's a lie. So I can't respect a lie. And if the opinion is a lie, cut and dry, my brother, cut and dry, cut and dry. You know, that's why I said I'm not about to argue with anybody. Like if you say PlayStation sucks, okay, they suck. I'm not about to sit here and convince you otherwise. If you don't like PlayStation, you just don't like PlayStation. If you don't like Xbox, you don't like Xbox. I'm not about to waste my time and energy. Done with that. You know what I mean? I mean, the games are out there. Evidence is out there. And if the evidence that is out there, and evidently you just flat out just saying, well, Xbox ain't got no games. PlayStation ain't got no games. Maybe all the games that is on Xbox or PlayStation don't resonate with you. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, who am I to tell you otherwise? That's your opinion, bro. That's your opinion. Rob Jones says, it says, I could, wait, let me see. Rob Jones says, I could be able to get a code for Spider-Man for you on release, either for yourself or the channel. It's entirely up to you. I've got a collector's edition, so I'll have a spare code. My man, Rob Jones. I'm gonna write down your channel name so that you said that. Yeah, I would love to do a giveaway. I would love to do a giveaway for the members. So you hear it right here first. Rob Jones is offering to give away Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. He has an extra code because he has the collector's edition. So if you guys want a chance to win, and I'm gonna repeat it in the streams. If Rob Jones holds on his word, then yes, we're gonna be giving away a copy of Spider-Man 2 to one fortunate member. So now is the time. If you're not already a member, now's the time to member up, because we're gonna try to give away a game. Not sure if it's region lock. Are you in the US? What part of the world are you from? Bruce Lee game? Yeah, for sure. UK? Oh, you're in the UK. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have members that are in the UK though. So we have members that are in the UK. We have a lot of UK boys, so it's all good. We got a lot of UK boys up in here. Thank you for subscribing. Mikey, what's up? What's popping? Let's get it going. It says, please remind the chat we will still be honoring Marvel Spider-Man 2 faceplates and controller giveaway as well once the plates come available again. Okay, cool. So there it is. We're gonna do a giveaway on faceplates and controllers as well, and a controller and faceplate. So that's good. Shout outs to Gaming and Reactions. Make sure y'all go to JasmineKaren.com. Go support him. He's the one that always supplies us with the giveaways and such. And you know, we can do a hybrid of the two. We could give away the controller to a member, a fortunate member, and then we could give away the faceplates to regular channel viewers. So we can, you know, split it up like that. But shout outs to Gaming and Reactions. He's the reason why we're playing Starfield as well. So God bless, man. I appreciate you, fam. Big shout outs, man. Let's see here. This is what's up, bro. He says, do you watch your average consumer on YouTube? Yeah, your average consumer. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking. Who you're talking about? What's going on with him? Starfield in 7 days. Hey, there you go. You say you winning that? There you go, man. It says I like to do a giveaway Xbox wrap to. Oh, you know, I heard some good stuff about the Xbox wraps. Anybody bought the Xbox wrap, like the Starfield edition of the Xbox wrap? Let me know. Oh, really? Oh my God, it's on YouTube? Ugh, that's crazy. Yo, Google Eyes, what's popping? Let's go. Oh, he reviewed the PlayStation Portal. Oh, okay. Yeah, I showed off the PlayStation Portal from CNET yesterday. They had a hands-on with the PlayStation Portal and the earbuds, the you know, what's it, PlayStation Explorer, that's what they call it. PlayStation Explorer, and then the PlayStation Pulse Elite. Oh, 40 minutes. Okay, it says I'm thinking about it. Okay. But yeah, so you know, there's that. What's up? What's up, man? How you popping? How we doing? If I got the Series X, if I got, you talking about the wrap? If I got it, nah, I didn't get it. I did not get it. Didn't have that chance to even pre-order it and get it. It says, yeah. It says I bought the wraps, Marlon. Oh, did you? Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. It says I couldn't get them Spider-Man plates anywhere. Yeah, it's supposed to go back in stock. Supposed to go back in stock soon. So, you know, stay tuned for that. Ready for Armored Core? Yeah, we'll see how it works out. Unfortunately, I won't be playing it day one, but I'll be happy to hear you guys' thoughts on it. I'll be happy to hear you guys' thoughts. Hey, shout outs. Hey, Rob, love you, bro. Shout outs to my UK boys, man. Hey, thank you so much for blessing us, man. Appreciate you. remakes. It says Ragnarok DLC on the way. Yeah, I keep hearing everybody saying that from the snitch, but we'll probably talk about that more in depth tomorrow. That'll be content for tomorrow and see what's up. And then we can have everybody to go over that and discuss that. So we'll see. It's a pandemic was an excuse for Series X. That will be the narrative when the next pandemic lands. It said this September, and they enforce. Man, listen, bro. At this point in time, bro, it's time to push the envelope even further now. You know, people are just tired of the excuses, and now it's time to deliver on the games. That's what people want. People want you to deliver on the games, deliver on your promise, and, you know, that's it. So, because people are paying money for this stuff. They're paying for a Series X. They're paying, some people finance their Series X, finance their Series S via Xbox All Access, or maybe on their credit card, or, you know, people are paying for Game Pass. So people are expecting what they're expecting. I don't fault nobody. If you spend your money, you need to get what you pay for. He said, you guys excited for Little Nightmare 3? Yo, that looked really, really good. That looked really, really good. He says, Little Devil Inside. Yeah, we still have not seen nada on that game. Nada on that game. So, don't know what's going on there, but we'll see, man. We'll see. He says, I hope we get a new PlayStation showcase with announcement of God of War DLC. Yeah, right. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, brother. Keep dreaming. I love to dream like that too, you know, because reality is more than likely not going to happen. We see the energy that Sony is putting out there, so, you know, we'll see. It says, I hope we got, let me see. It says, I got Starfield watch today. What? Oh, man, I wish I could get that watch. Hey, man, I'm happy for you. Man. Wait a minute. They start a ship, the Constellation? Hold on. So you're telling me that they're shipping the Constellation Edition already? Wow. Man, part of me wish I would have gotten that. I mean, I'm a watch type of person, so oh well, no watch for me. No watch for me. So Game Pass games are coming out today on GeForce Now. Not surprised. Not surprised. Yeah, I think I heard about something like that. Not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Not surprised. But hey, each his own. Each his own. He said, did you see Saints Row coming to PC? People still playing that game? Marlon, I like to see new Horizon 3 game possible 2025. Roughly, you're probably going to wait a little bit on that one. I mean, you know, they're going to keep making Horizon games, and if you're a big fan, then it's going to happen. So September will be Fire, MK1, Baldurs Gate 3, Phantom Liberty, Destiny Season of The Witch just dropped, and bots will have Starfield. There you go. It says, I'm going to get the earbuds. I am going to wait until your review because you keep it 100. My man, country boy. Shout outs to the homie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know. We gotta stack up on that. You know what I mean? As soon as pre-orders drop, we gotta be on that. You feel me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We out here. Yes, sir. Love you guys. Thank y'all for keeping it real. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate talking to you guys, man. Talking to you guys is a blessing, bro. You know what I mean? Hope I made you guys day today. Hope I made y'all laugh today. You feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the love. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Much love, man. Much love, guys. But with that being said, thank y'all for the super chats. For those of you who stepped up and did your due diligence of helping us to keep the operation of the channel going. I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for this opportunity to sit in this grand chair that I'm sitting in. I don't take nothing for granted. So, Appreciate y'all. And I hope I made you guys laugh today. I hope you guys got some type of value out of the stream today. And I hope I made your day better than how it was before you entered the stream. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for the love, man. God bless you guys. Drive safe out there if you're driving. And let's keep it gaming. One love. God bless. Love you guys, man. Be blessed. Yes, Snoop Dogg, I saw something like that for MW2. Love y'all. Until next time, take care, guys. We out.